Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie is Tau? T-A-U. Tau. I guess that's the way you say it. I don't know, when I start the film maybe they'll tell me a little bit more of how you're supposed to say it, but that sounds about right. Not the best reader in the world, I'm a better watcher. Don't read into that too much. Anyway, so it's about a woman who's held captive in a futuristic smart home and hopes to escape by breaking into the computer programs that control the home. So a little sci-fi here, a little change in what we normally watch. It is starring Maika, Monroe, who Hot Summer Nights she was just in, did a review on that, so check that out. Skrein and Gary Oldman, you know. So Gary Oldman's pretty awesome. Sid Vicious, right? No, whatever. Anyway, Sex Pistols, Sid. But I'll get into it a little bit more, see if I learn how to really pronounce this movie and really tell you what it's about, because reading that never works. So that's why I'm here, and I'll give you some thoughts, alright? So stick around. Hey everybody, time for a quick check-in here. We're watching Tau, and we're at the 41 minute 48 second mark, so it's pronounced Tau, not Tau, Tau. Tau is essentially the artificial intelligence that resides in the house. So evidently this guy named Alex goes out and kidnaps people, and he implants something into the back of their neck, probably into their spinal cord, and he's trying to, I think, enhance artificial intelligence. He's the CEO of some big company, but he lives like in this house all by himself. I don't know if he goes to work every day, whatever. But that's his big thing. He's creating a project. I'm not sure 100% what it is, but it has to do with something with analyzing the human intelligence and using it for artificial intelligence. And so he has kidnapped Maika, Monroe's character, who I think is Julia or something like that. So she's like a pickpocket in the beginning. She's just like a pickpocket, and he watches her for, it all takes place in like 3 minutes, and then kidnaps her, and boom, she gets thrown into this cell, and there's 2 other people. She gets thrown into a cell with a mask on, so she can't talk, and she's cuffed. But then she's able to break out of there a little bit, but she still gets caught. And it's really just her, this Alex guy, and Gary Oldman plays the robot. So in this house that's all Alexified, you can use that if you want, so she can't escape, but she's being watched by this robot, or this like eye kind of thing. You'll see if you ever look this up, it was probably on the picture that you clicked on to watch this video, and that's Tau, and that's played by Gary Oldman, or his voice. So that's where we are right now. He's making her do different puzzles so that she can learn, or I don't know what, just make her do puzzles so her brainwaves activate, I guess, and he can get a reading from it, and again use it to improve his project or whatever he's doing. And that's really it. She's trying different things to try and escape, and of course it's not working. But it's interesting. It's nothing great or groundbreaking, but so far so good. I'm interested to see where it goes. I've seen, I can't remember, I just did another review that's similar where they trap somebody in there and they keep her. I'm going to look that up real quick. Speaking of looking things up, I looked up this, I don't know if I'm saying her first name right, Maika, Monroe. Her last name's Monroe, so any relation to Marilyn Monroe. So that's what I wanted to look up. I just looked on IMDb, and it has no reference to anything except for the fact that she actually wanted to be a kiteboarder. You know, that's like surfing, but when you hold on to a kite and go up and down the waves and stuff like that. And she even moved to, where'd she move? She moved somewhere where they have great waves, I'm assuming, and like homeschooled herself her senior year so that she could become a professional kiteboarder. And her dad was that. And all it says was that she came in second in some big kiteboarding competition, probably the world champions or something like that. But that's it. Never said anything else, and here she is. She's acting. So this is like the 3rd film I've seen her in. So I thought that was an interesting story. Don't know if she's related to Marilyn Monroe, or if that's just her stage name, or anything along those lines. One last thing before we get back to it here. Sorry, a little long-winded. One thing I do like about this movie, which I think I like about a lot of different movies, so I have surround sound. So if you have surround sound, and I don't know if it's necessary, But anyway, when she's caged and she's trying to escape, and she causes an explosion, right? And you know how when you cause an explosion and then move, you hear that ear ringing, and that kind of thing. Or if you've ever had that before, you know what that's a very specific sound that you hear when your ears are ringing and you can't hear anything else. And they do that, but it really felt like my ears were ringing. Like I couldn't hear anything else but the ear ringing. So the way that they did it in the sound in this film, really, that's the first time I've ever noticed it. I've heard surround sound like gunshots going around you and stuff like that, and airplanes and helicopters and all that fun stuff. I've heard that, and I've heard the ear ringing thing before, but never have I really thought that was my ears ringing. And so I thought that was interesting. So if you do watch this movie, it's right in the beginning. It's not right in the beginning, but it's in the first 40 minutes. Check it out. Let me know if you notice it as well. It's amazing what they can do now with these types of things. But anyway, enough of that. I apologize for going on too long. I'll get back into it. I'll probably check in at the end and let you know my final thoughts. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody. So we're at the credits of Tao. Just ended. The movie I wanted to talk about earlier that it kind of reminded me of, not so much, but Rupture. Very similar type movie where they kidnap people and perform experiments on them. That one I didn't like so much. This one was a little bit better. Again, nothing very groundbreaking, but interesting nonetheless. And it's kind of misleading when they talk about like she tries to hack the code of the house to get out. Well, the hacking, or I mean, maybe I'm not putting it right, but that's what I was led to believe. Like she was going to get in there and get into the code and stuff like that. That's not what really happened. She just talks to Tao and tries to win him over, so that he will help her escape. That's really the hacking, or the what she's trying to do to get out of there. But as I had said, the guy who owns the house was trying to create a project deadline where it was going to improve artificial intelligence, I assume, and she was the test subject. There was 3 of them, and she's doing puzzles, and meanwhile she's developing this relationship with this computer. It gets a little far-fetched, but still fun. Don't let that bother you. It's just a little fun there. And the whole thing is what's going to happen? Is she going to be able to get out of there? Will the experiment do well? All that type of stuff. So again, nothing groundbreaking. You can kind of imagine right now from what I told you what's going to happen, but it's interesting enough to watch. I'd probably give it a 6. Again, that's stuff that you've seen before. I bet you already know what's probably going to happen, but the journey there is a little different. So not terribly disappointing, but not terribly exciting either. And that's it. The one other thing that I thought of when I was watching this, that girl, that Monroe girl, she kind of looks like Gwen the Sonic, I can't remember, like the singer. But anyway, I'm not even going to try and say it again. I can't even remember her name. So, alright, enough. I embarrassed myself. Hopefully this one doesn't get a lot of reviews. But if you do, check out the movie. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you hear the ringing and you really felt like it was your ears. I thought that's the most interesting part of this movie. So, check it out. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button. And I'll talk to you later. I'm just struggling here. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub. Bloopers included.